Good morning, Kurt here, and I got a question for you. What's gonna annoy you at work today? What's that little thing that's just gonna get under your skin? Is it the meeting's too long, or the guy that never talks in the meeting, or the guy that talks too much, or maybe it's that person who's gonna eat your food out of the break room fridge. Ran across this picture this week. This person so upset that someone was eating their salad dressing, they spit into the salad dressing, which caused someone else at work, well, to spit back into it's just so horrible. You know, when our work life doesn't go well, it's really, really hard to be effective for Christ. It's hard to be happy. And here's the problem. All the research indicates this. Your business, your job, your vacation, your school, your place of sales, wherever you go, it's a collection of habits. That's right. Individuals don't just have habits. Organizations and families and groups have habits. And most of those habits are unintentional. In fact, the research tells us that most organizations acquire their habits just by this weird mix of all the individual decisions, not anything strategic or logical. Here's what Charles DeHug writes: companies aren't families, they're battlefields in a civil war. When ego and position come into it, we can really be miserable. Paul speaks directly to this in Ephesians. He's dealing with a young church that's battling these habits in the church, in the organization, that's tearing it apart. And he calls them to consider this truth. Look at Ephesians 4:15 and 16. Speaking the truth in love, we will grow to become in every respect the mature body of Him who is the head. That is Christ. From Him, the whole body, joined and held together by every supporting ligament, grows and builds itself up in love as each part does its work. Just two sentences, but what powerful content for walking in greater organizational unity. Three clear ideas. The first one is this: speak the truth in love. You know, if someone's going on too long in a meeting, you gotta find a way in love to talk about that. If someone's eating the food, well, don't leave a note. You got to go face to face, and you just have to get the truth out there. The second one is this: submit to the source. Paul calls Christ the head. In the Greek, that just means the provider, the source of everything. You know, if we're not all submitted to a greater source, we can't work in unity. For Christians and Christian families, this just means really submitting to the person of Jesus Christ. In the workplace, it means being called to a bigger vision and keeping that vision in mind. And the third idea is this: do your part. Paul says you'll grow if in love you worry about your job and not someone else's. You go do your best job in your most positive way. When each one does their part, well, things get better, things grow, more unity happens. These are the deliberate habits, the speaking the truth in love and submitting to the bigger vision, submitting to Christ even, and doing your part, that if you'll do them, the habits themselves will change your organization and cause unity.